Most people with a cordless drill in the garage have no idea it was recalled. We pulled the federal recall records, the manufacturer's own spec sheets, and independent torque testing to find out what's actually in that aisle. One brand recalled 455,000 drills after 47 reports of overheating, smoking, melting, or catching fire, including 12 reports of damage to homes and vehicles. Here's what nobody's saying out loud. The worst cases aren't the $40 drills. They're the premium names, the ones professionals swear by. One of the most respected brands in the trade pulled 350,000 drills for the exact same defect as the cheapest drill on this list. You're going to recognize the name. We're counting down all 10 from concerning to genuinely dangerous, then finishing with the 3 that actually last. Let's get into it. Number 10. Harbor Freight Drill Master. This is the drill you buy because it's $40 and you only need it twice a year. Hanging a shelf. Assembling a bed frame. It sits in the box between jobs and nobody expects much from it. Here's what the federal record says. In November 2012, Harbor Freight recalled about 108,000 cordless drills. The reason? The black trigger switch on the 2-volt model could overheat, posing fire and burn hazards to consumers. That was the first one. In 2016, Harbor Freight recalled Drill Master 18-volt cordless drills, again item numbers 68239 and 68287. Black with a red switch, sold with an 18-volt battery pack. Consumers were told to stop using them immediately and return them to the nearest store for a replacement. Same brand, same component, twice. Here's the test you can run tonight on any drill you own. Run it hard for a full minute driving screws, not spinning free. Then set it down and touch 2 places, the motor housing near the vents and the plastic around the trigger. Warm at the vents is normal, that's the motor doing work. Heat concentrated at the trigger instead is a different story. That's a switch carrying more current than it was built for. The trigger is the cheapest part of a cordless drill and the one carrying every amp the motor pulls. It's also the first place a manufacturer economizes when the retail price has to start with a 3. You didn't buy a bad drill. You bought the part of the drill nobody advertises. And here's the uncomfortable part. Nobody expects much from a $40 drill. The next brand is the one your parents trusted, and it failed in exactly the same place. Number 9. Black & Decker. This is the first drill most Americans ever owned. The starter kit, the wedding gift. The one your dad kept in a plastic case in the hall closet, and the reason Black & Decker still sounds like a synonym for drill. Then read the federal record. Black & Decker recalled about 265,000 18-volt cordless drill. Drivers. The reason. The drill switch could malfunction and overheat, posing the possibility of a fire hazard. Consumers were told to stop using them immediately, remove the battery, and contact the company for a free repair. The same component. The second brand, and think about what that remedy asked of people. Not a refund, not a replacement. A repair, meaning you box up the drill, ship it off, and wait. Most owners never did. The recall notice went to registered buyers, and almost nobody registers a drill they got as a gift. Now look at who Black & Decker is today. The company merged into what is now Stanley Black & Decker, which also owns DeWalt and Craftsman, under one corporate roof. A business that reported $15.8 billion in revenue. Sourcing a better switch isn't a financial constraint at that scale. It's a line item. And notice what the recall didn't depend on. Not price, not heritage, not 80 years of trust attached to the name. A $40 Harbor Freight drill and a household American brand failed at exactly the same part, roughly a decade apart, for exactly the same reason. Not a cheap tool problem, a cheap component problem. Familiarity isn't engineering, it's just familiarity. 2 brands, 2 recalls, around 370,000 drills between them. The next brand recalled more than both combined, and this time, homes caught fire. Number 8, Ryobi. Number 7, Hart. One of these is the best-selling DIY drill in America. The other is a Walmart exclusive. They're closer than you'd think. Start with Ryobi. In October 2010, Ryobi recalled about 455,000 cordless drills, the HP 1000, 802M, sold at Home Depot for about $100. The federal record is specific. 47 reports of the drills overheating, smoking, melting, or catching fire. 12 of those involved property damage to homes or vehicles. 2 people suffered minor burns from touching an overheated switch. Read that last detail again. People were burned by the part of the drill their hand never leaves. The switch. Again. That's 3 brands now: budget, household, and DIY, and roughly 828,000 drills, all failing at the same component. Then there's Hart, number 7, and this one is about who's behind the shelf. Hart sits in Walmart as the affordable option for people who don't want to spend Home Depot money. Reviewers describe the design choices as clunky and not fully realize the visible result of a brand engineered to a price point. Hart was acquired by Tektronix Industries in 2007 and made a Walmart exclusive in 2019. Tektronix also owns Ryobi and Milwaukee. The company reported $15.3 billion in revenue for 2025 against Stanley Black & Decker's $15.8 billion. 2 companies, nearly identical scale, most of the aisle between them. Walmart's budget brand. Home Depot's DIY brand. 1 parent company. The shelf tier isn't a manufacturing difference. It's a marketing decision made upstream of both stores. And that same company owns the professional brand you'd never think to compare to a Walmart drill. Number 6. The battery platform wall, Ryobi and Milwaukee. This isn't a defect. It's a design decision, and it costs more than any recall on this list. Pick up a Ryobi battery and a Milwaukee battery and set them side by side on a bench. Same cells inside, same lithium-ion chemistry, same corporate research behind both, and a small ridge of molded plastic on each one that makes them physically refuse to enter the other brand's tool. Tektronix Industries owns Milwaukee outright as a subsidiary. It manufactures and sells Ryobi under license from a separate Japanese corporation. 2 brands, 1 Hong Kong-based parent, 1 shared body of cordless research. The company's entire core competency is lithium-ion motor and battery technology, spread across power tools, vacuums, and outdoor equipment. And the 2 platforms deliberately don't share battery systems. Same company, same battery engineering, different plastic on the outside. Here's why that matters more than the drill you're holding. You're not buying a tool. You're buying an entry point into a battery family, and every purchase after it is locked to that decision. The impact driver, the sander, the leaf blower, the spare packs. Switching platforms later doesn't mean buying a new drill. It means replacing everything, and most people quietly decide it's cheaper to stay. To be fair, the tools genuinely differ. Milwaukee builds to a professional duty rating, Ryobi to a homeowner's. That's real. But a duty rating doesn't require incompatible terminals. The wall between those shelves isn't engineering. It's the business model, because the profit was never in the drill. If you've made it this far, you're halfway. Everything so far has been recalls and ownership. The back half is the number printed on the box. It may be the least trustworthy thing in the entire aisle. Number 5, Makita. Number 4, Milwaukee. These are the drills professionals recommend, and the number on the box is where both stories go sideways. Start with Makita. They launched an 18-volt hammer drill, the XPH-16, advertised as delivering a full 970 inch-pounds max torque. The same launch promised up to 70% more power than the model it replaced. Now here's the physical tell. A drill genuinely producing that much torque ships with a side handle, because when the bit binds, the tool tries to spin, and without a second grip, it spins in your wrist. That's not a comfort feature, it's a control feature. The XPH-16 didn't come with one. That absence is what made independent testers start pulling spec sheets. What they found was a pattern. On another Makita drill, the company's own maximum fastening torque spec 1,150 inch-pounds sits well below the 1,250 inch-pounds they advertise as peak torque. Here's the mechanism, and it's the key to this whole half of the video. Peak torque and fastening torque are two different tests, measured under different conditions. Both numbers are real. Which one goes on the box is a marketing choice. Number 4 is Milwaukee, and this one gets stated carefully, because it's reported rather than lab verified. Longtime owners, including people who own more Milwaukee than any other brand, describe the company's spec inflation, testing methods, and marketing hype as well documented. Their words: "Do I believe their advertised specs? Not for a second. You did everything right. You stood in the aisle and compared the numbers. You compared two figures that were never measuring the same thing, and there's no rule anywhere saying they have to." Number 3. Greenworks. Number 2. The spec system itself. Number 1. DeWalt. Greenworks marketed a brushless drill with the claim 2x more torque. True, but measured against their own older 24-volt brushed drill, rated at 150 inch-pounds. Double a low number is still a low number. To their credit, when a tester pressed them, Greenworks substantiated the claim and clarified the comparison. Most brands don't get asked. Which brings us to number 2, and this is the one that reframes everything. Torque specs come from the Power Tool Institute, the trade group the major brands belong to. Their measurement guidelines are voluntary, and they've been described as very outdated, with no answer on whether they've been updated for drills that now claim over 1,000 inch-pounds. Voluntary guidelines. Self-reported numbers. No enforcement. The number on the box is not comparable between brands. It never was. And number 1, DeWalt. In 2008, DeWalt recalled about 350,000 cordless drills. The reason? The trigger switch could overheat, posing a fire hazard, after 11 reports of overheating. They sold for between $180 and $280. 350,000 drills. The same defect as the $40 Harbor Freight drill at 7 times the price. So sit with the whole picture. The number is unregulated. The premium brand fails at the same component as the cheapest one. The brands you thought you were choosing between share a parent company. What exactly are you paying for? Now that you know what to avoid, here are the 3 that actually last. 2 of them appeared earlier in this video. That's deliberate. The failures were specific, and so are the strengths. Best option number 3, Flex. Flex offers a lifetime warranty on tools, batteries, and chargers when you register the product. Read that again. Batteries included. Nearly every brand on this list warranties the battery for 2 or 3 years and the tool for 5. Flex's terms make a dead pack a claim instead of a purchase. The honest trade-offs are real. This is the newest platform of the 3. The tool lineup is the thinnest, and if you're buying into a battery family for the next decade, you're betting on a catalog that's still filling out. Best option number 2, Makita. Yes, number 5 on the avoid list. Here's why they're also here. Makita is one of the very few major power tool brands still independent of any conglomerate, alongside Fane and Hilti. No Stanley Black & Decker. No Tektronix. Nobody upstream deciding which shelf tier this brand serves. The trade-off is exactly what we covered. Their published torque figures deserve skepticism. Buy the tool on its build and its platform. Ignore the number. Best option number 1, Milwaukee. Also on the avoid list for spec inflation. But their research and development is headquartered in Brookfield, Wisconsin, with manufacturing across Wisconsin and Mississippi, and they run the deepest tool platform in the trade, which is what actually matters when you're locked into a battery family. Trade-offs, stated plainly. TTI owns them. They're priced at the top of the market, and their specs earn the same skepticism as everyone else's. Before you close this, here's the one rule worth keeping. It replaces this entire list. Buy the battery platform and the warranty terms. Never buy the number on the box. The drill is the cheapest thing you'll ever buy from that brand. Everything after it, the impact driver, the sander, the spare packs, the blower, is locked to the decision you make in that aisle. Pick the platform you'll still want tools from in 5 years, and read what the warranty actually covers before you pick it. Tool only or batteries too? 2 years, 3, or lifetime with registration? That answer is worth more than any spec on the shelf. 3 things worth 60 seconds. Look up your model on the Federal Recall database. It's free, it's searchable, and it's how you find out about the drill already sitting in your garage. Register the tool the day you buy it, because unregistered coverage often starts from the manufacture date, not your purchase date. And after heavy use, run the heat check. Motor vents warm is normal. Trigger housing hot is a switch problem. Learn to read the numbers too. Peak torque and maximum fastening torque are different tests. Compare figures within a brand if you must never across brands. The industry's own measurement guidelines are voluntary, so the box can say almost anything and stay technically honest. And remember what the aisle actually looks like. 2 conglomerates own most of the brands you thought you were choosing between. The wall between those shelves was built on purpose. If this changed how you look at that aisle, send it to whoever's about to buy their first drill.